Hey everybody, welcome back. So today we are going to revisit something we've talked about a while back. Like last year I made a video about the Ewoks cartoon. As you can see, this is the Ewoks cartoon, and it was an amazing cartoon from the 80s. And yes, there was a lot of products from it. But why we're talking about it again is because just recently, if you haven't been paying attention, if you go on Disney Plus, they have what's called the Vintage Collection, and they have new stuff in there in the Star Wars section, under the Vintage Collection. And one of the things is the Ewoks cartoon, which is this bad boy. This is just one of the excerpt stories from the show itself. It's just an old VHS tape that I found for pretty cheap. Like, as you can see, old and VHS. Oh, it's not even rewound. How dare they? But yeah, so I just wanted to show you some of the cool stuff that they actually had from that show. Actually, I even had some of the original animation cells. Actually, I still have some of the original animation cells, but I'm not going to show those in this video. But if you want to see those, just go back to probably a year ago my videos, and you can see the video titled Ewoks Murder Bears, and I have a bunch of the original animation cells from this cartoon. But let's start with, in the last figures that they made in 1985, all the figures came out with coins, and one of those series of figures was from the Ewoks cartoon. So you should even have an Ewoks cartoon shirt. And yub nub is what they kind of say all the time. But yeah, so let's get into... So these figures, the basic ones are worth about $100 each. This was the Duloc Shaman one. And this one's actually in mint condition. I've showed these before, but I'm showing them again. This is in like case fresh mint condition. Like it came out fresh out of the case and was sold to me that way. And I bought this many years ago. And let's go on to... And then this is a King Gornish. And this is actually the Canadian card back. So the original regular card back has a picture of King Gornish on there. It's all like, rah, or whatever like that. But yes, this is the King Gornish. If you watch this cartoon, you will know who these characters are. And they're basically the bad guys in the Ewoks cartoon. Like they're the Ewoks' evil arch nemesis or whatever. And this is the Duloc Scout. This was the Duloc Scout. I like these old Gornish guys, and these were definitely different than any other old Star Wars figures that came out in the 80s. But it's pretty cool that I have these all as a complete set, all still carded. All of them came with these coins, and each individual coin was, unique to the character. So that's pretty awesome. And that's some cool art on it from the cartoons. And this is Lady Gornish, as you can see, in all of her Lady Gornish glory. Now, I definitely recommend watching these cartoons, especially if you have kids, because they're definitely kid-friendly, and they're definitely amazing old Star Wars cartoons. Now, this one's actually worth a little bit more. This is the Logray. This is Logray, the Ewoks Shaman. And he's worth, I'd say, probably about $200 by now, maybe $300. I'm not quite sure. It's been a while since I checked. But this, again, is another case-fresh version of this. Like, it's just never been put on a shelf. It was basically busted out of a case and then sold to me. So that was an amazing score to get because, yeah, you cannot find these in this perfect condition. And then lastly but not leastly, the most valuable one, last I checked, it's worth about $700, maybe $1,000. Might even be more now, but this is the Wicket. See, as you can see, there's Wicket in all of his glory. I mean, mine has a little bit of a, rip on the top from a price sticker, so that might make it worth a little bit less more. But if I go back and I find a vintage price sticker, I can just slap it on there and, nobody will ever notice. And this one is unpunched, so that's pretty awesome. Bubble's good. But last I checked too, just if you want to buy this guy loose, he's like maybe $100, $200. But a spear alone goes for like $200 or $300. So it's awesome to have a carded version of this guy. And they also made some really cool, stuff for the kids. They made these the Play School put out a series of cool little play sets. So this is the Ewok Woodland Wagon. And this is actually still sealed, never been opened, all freshity fresh, and the box is in great condition. So this thing's worth quite a bit just because of the condition of it and the fact that it's unsealed. And yeah, you can't find these things anymore, for sure. And there's that front of it. And as you can see, if you watch the cartoon, there's Naga. That's their little beastly. And it comes with a couple of these Ewoks, as you can see, that were unique to this set. You couldn't get these Ewoks anywhere else besides this set. Yeah, it's a pretty great specimen for what it is. And the next thing we got here is the Ewok Fire Cart. So this fire cart is open. So you can see I've got the card cart in hand here. But here's the box. The box is in decent shape. It's just got a little phrase on the corners, you know, nothing too horrible. It hasn't been smashed or anything, but again, got Ewoks in this that were unique to the set that you couldn't get anywhere else but the set. So that's pretty cool to have. I'm kind of half contemplating on whether or not my baby coming up will be allowed to play with these ones because they're play school, they're baby's toys, or I guess 3 and up. I guess, what does it say? 5 and up? 2 to 5 years. Age 2 to 5 years. So once it's 2 years old, we might actually let it play with this as long as it doesn't lose the parts, right? Gotta keep an eye on that. And then, lastly but not leastly, we had the Ewok Family Hut. Now this was like the big playset. And I've got all the parts except for one. I'm missing like an Ewok hang glider. But it definitely comes with a bunch of these Ewok figures in it. There's Kanisa. She's basically Wicket's lady, her girlfriend. I think this is supposed to be Wicket himself. And then, of course, it comes with a Naga. So you get a Naga with this set. And then you get a baby Ewok in a swing. There's a baby Ewok in a swing. Swing, Ewok swing. But yeah, I've got all the parts except for the glider, which I'm pretty sure I can probably find online. I just haven't really looked for it. It comes with like a little table and a chair, and a swing, and a rope ladder. And I've got the box for this as well. I think I got this back when, a couple years back for a pretty decent price. And here is the box. You can see there's comes with all these different accessories that you see. I've got the rest of them kind of sitting over there on the table. There's kids having a good time playing with it, and you know there's pretty cool. You know, like the old school graphics for it. They have one portion that's just kind of like the you know, examples and what's in it and all that. You know, just kind of the rest, like the rest of the old vintage Star Wars stuff, how they came with their boxes. But yeah, box is in pretty good shape. I mean, I'm not too upset with that. I mean, it's nice and white for how old this is. I mean, what's the year on these things? It's got to be super old. 1984. 1984 is when these things came out. But yeah, so if you guys have not watched the Ewok cartoon on Disney Plus and you love Star Wars and you love all the other stuff that kind of goes along with it, make sure you go and check that out because the show is amazing and you will not regret it. I almost forgot to show you guys this before we left too. This is how I have my Ewok set up right now for the village. You got the lights around it. We got some Force spirits back there with Yoda, Obi-Wan, and Anakin. We got Kanisa and some other Ewoks. We got baby Ewok. Look at that baby Ewok. We got some rebel troops down here for different varieties. Oh, there's Han Solo next to an original vintage biker scout with his blaster. Some Power of the Force biker scouts. Maybe a legacy biker scout. I forget. And then we have an original rebel trooper with his blaster and his grimace. And then we got back here, look, some baby Ewoks and an eraser. And they got this guy. And there's Leia with another rebel and another Ewok. Yeah, just wanted to show you guys that before we ended this video. But if you like my content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.